We have new talk here of Russia and China developing powerful high-altitude weapons, EMP weapons, that could be used on different countries. What I find very interesting is that they're citing information that we brought up in 2017, right when it came out, and this was the declassified EMP Commission report. I went over this. I went through word by word everything that the brass was saying. They decommissioned this whole project. They shut it down, pretty much put it in the dark, after these officials stepped up and said, look, this is the biggest threat that we face. This is very real. The biggest threat that we face in terms of knocking this country off its high horse and back into the Stone Age. And what I find also interesting is I see RT take a stance where they're trying to call Maddow a conspiracy person. What timing after they said on YouTube they were going to stop putting conspiracy videos in the suggested spot. But what she's saying is a power surge, and she's saying that Russia could flip the lights out on America at any time. The way I read it, they're pretty much trying to clown her, trying to act like they're going to have nothing to do with this event. That's what I take from it. I've been studying this event for a long, long time because I truly feel it is the one event that could do everything in. It's the one event I feel that you should have a survival plan for when the lights go out in this country, because it doesn't have to come from any other country, any military. The sun can do it. Now, they're stating here in all these different articles that Russia and China are developing these high-altitude nuclear bombs or super-electromagnetic EMPs. Once again, they're going back to this declassified 2017 report that we've done shredded. We've done ripped through it. I have gone to Fond du Lac and other states up in Wisconsin for lights out emergency events dealing with this. Okay, I've traveled this country going to protests, chasing hurricanes, you name it. When I went to this event up in Wisconsin, I was ran out of the lot and I was met by agents at my home when I got home, asking what it was I was doing up there. And when I turned and I looked at them and I told them I was up there trying to figure out how to survive a lights out situation, their eyes got bigger. Then I asked them, do you know how to survive a lights out situation? Their jaws dropped. They said no. And I'm like, wouldn't you like to know? They say, yeah. And I'm like, well, that's what I was doing. Is there anything wrong with that? They said, no, we would actually like to know more. And I'm like, well, too bad. They kicked me out of up there because that was my plan, to get the information and bring it back home so I could relay it to all my people so they could see what was going on, so they too could have a plan, so they could do what others are planning to do. But it seemed like they didn't want the public to know after they branded this as a public event, as getting the public ready. That's why I drove all the way up there. They ran me out of there and basically said, no, we're doing this behind closed doors. That was very odd. And the agents that came knocking on my door, I asked them, do you have a plan? What are you going to do when it happens? Has anyone trained you or talked about this? They just sit there shaking their heads like, look, man, you know, we had to follow up on the report. We're just checking, not saying you did anything wrong, but you've got some valid points and you've got me thinking. I'm like, good. Well, you walking out of here, then your wheels are turning. What are you going to do when the lights go out? Did they say anything to you about it? Do they have any plan for your special departments? Are they going to leave you high and dry too in certain areas? Local sheriffs, local National Guard units, just like in the movie Amerigeddon. They were left in the dark until they started seeing their generals communicating with blue helmets out of the UN, and they knew that they had been done in. There's a lot of truth hidden in front of your eyes out here, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not trying to make this an extremely long video because I could go on forever about this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go live and talk about this in detail, surviving an EMP type of event. With all this talk, I really think it's critical. I think we need to freshen up on some of the survival skills and everything else that's connected into this. I think it'll make for a good talk. And there's also things that are tied into this that we need to talk about in person that just cannot be discussed out here on the internet because they censor it, they'll go after it, they'll shut it down. And I'm talking critical stuff. This is why we're looking to meet up March 30th, the Cincinnati area, for the first ever knowledge conference to discuss things in the flesh and meet like-minded individuals and to get somewhere in planning for all the stuff that's going on. But if you want to be a part of that, hit me up, dabu7yahoo.com. Tickets are going fast. And also as a reminder, there are 2 satellites going over our country every day. The Shining Star satellites that were launched by North Korea. Our military knows it. They tried to say they were tumbling. They're still passing over our country every day. The same exact commission said that one of those, they are sitting at the perfect altitude. If they have something aboard it, it could be detonated, and it too could cause an EMP. They stated this. They put the warning out there. It's all in this report, this Nuclear EMP Commission report, the official PDF, unclassified, from a government agency. So this isn't conspiracy. This is the stuff they're talking about as fact and what you're going to have to do to survive such an event. Or just barely touching on that. That's what we're going to break down even further. It's been Dabu7. Peace.